tune in every Monday to the marketplace, 5:15 in the afternoons on Mondays, where we also talk economic matters. Fola and I were arguing over this the Magodo Estates agreements with the Keja Electric.
Oh yes.
Yes, you were siding with some listeners that were saying it's not fair. Everybody should be.
I was siding with some listeners. But I am the one saying it's not fair.
Oh my goodness, excellent stuff. What's our phone number for folks who want to send text messages?
Yes, WhatsApp messages 0809 If you want to tweet, you can tweet at Smooth981FM. Hashtag is Business Express 981. And of course, Rotus is also at Rotus. We're streaming live on YouTube, so you can watch live on our YouTube channel. And there's a chat box. If you have one or two things to contribute, you can drop your comments.
Yeah, it's Rotan quote, not Rotus. It's ROTANKW. Yeah, okay, but don't worry, you're fresh. You'll get it. All right, really. Let's hop in now. So the stock market was it was positive Thursday, Friday, but yesterday to kick off this week, the market was negative, down by 0.39%. 27,691 points is where the market closed. One of the reasons behind this were sell-offs in Seplat and Forte Oil. Seplat, which is an upstream company, is trading at, it closed at 441 naira. This stock was at 640 naira back in January, so it's the lowest point it's dropped to so far this year. So yeah, the market has resumed its bearish tendency. So far this year, the market is down by 11.8%. Okay. So lots of announcements. So my dear listeners and everybody beyond, we have announcements for VAT, we have announcements for loan recovery, we have announcements for Nigeria's assets probably being seized, we have announcements of rollovers of budgets. Let's begin with loans. So the central bank emerged from its bankers committee meeting yesterday with commercial banks and announced that indeed, if an individual owes money to a bank, and with Bank A, if you owe money to Bank A and you have money with Bank B, Bank A can go into Bank B and collect the money.
What?
Yes, it's official. Our dear CBN Deputy Governor Aisha Ahmad, made this known yesterday, and she says the logic behind this is to encourage banks to increase lending. So they're saying that, okay, now that banks know that, using your BVN number, yes, they're going to be able to use this now to go into any bank where you have money and recover it. And I'm wondering about the impact. How this will, folks will react to this. Does this mean that somebody who is, people who start maybe removing money from other money where they have other banks, maybe hold cash? What does it mean?
I think that people would probably devise a way to hide their money at the end of the day.
But it's going to be inconvenience. We've become more, at least most of us that are banked. It's so convenient now to be cashless. It's so convenient now to not have to carry cash up and down. Look, if you're owing money, you're owing money. You signed an agreement. Oh, by the way, they said this is only for new loans. So if you have an existing loan, you're not going to be affected. It's only for brand new loans. So and it's going to be part of the agreement that you sign with the bank that says, hey, Mrs. or Mr., this new agreement you're signing with the bank, if you don't pay up, we will be collecting the money from another account.
So you can choose not to sign that agreement.
But that means you won't get the money now. so just know that going forward. And look, you know what? I think I support this measure. The non-performing loans are a bit on the high side. Of course, there are other measures that have been affecting, banks not wanting to lend. It's not just about folks not paying back. There's a number of measures out there, but hey, if you borrow money and you don't have, and you're hiding money in another account, you
should pay. You should pay
up. We have 1/3 of the horsemen with us in the studio. Christian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lagos. Thank you.
Let's try. There you go. Try that again. Say that. Good morning again.
Good morning, Lagos.
Hey, okay, we can hear. So, what do you think of the directive, Christian?
Long overdue.
It's long overdue.
Yes, I think it's a welcome development. As much as the commercial banks try to grow their loan books, there's also need. Looking at the Q2 or H1 figures for most of the commercial banks.
Yeah.
So a significant increase in NPLs, right?
Right. Non-performing loans.
Non-performing loans. Yes, that's correct. So if we, as we have been clamoring in the past for the commercial banks to increase lending to the real sector, there's also a need to protect these commercial banks to
Right.
an extent.
Right.
So I think this is welcome because it will kind of enforce some kind of discipline that we are lacking as Nigerians. Yes, the discipline to repay loans as at when due. So this is long overdue. It's a
Yeah.
welcome development. I mean, if you don't have any intentions of defaulting, you have no reason to worry. You this is going to provide some kind of comfort to the lenders,
Right.
so that when you actually apply for a loan, chances that you get one would increase.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, with this
Theoretically,
development,
yes.
yeah, it should be higher chances because there are also higher chances of recovery for the lenders.
Right. Okay. Daniel is asking, are non-banking lenders going to have access to this service? Daniel, I'm not sure. They only refer to commercial banks. This was after their bankers committee meeting, so I'm not sure if non-banking lenders are going to be part of this. But theoretically, this should apply because the lending environment includes them as well. But for now, this is only referencing commercial banks. Let's see now. Chidi says, "Hi, Rotus. Is it possible for Bank A to release the details of its customer to Bank B without a garnish order from a court? Because it's an already ongoing thing, but the process of going to obtain court orders was the problem. So I hope CBN fashion out a seamless process coming from." Well, if we say his name as Chidi, but it says Paul, so folks have multiple names out there. So thank you for that, Paul. That is something that does need to be looked into. They do want to make the process as seamless as possible, and your BVN is uniform,
Exactly.
so it's across the board. So I would lean towards that.
So for our big lenders who our big borrowers who have outstanding, I suggest you go and make good your debt.
All right, Christian, what do we think of this other story? This is also another announcement that also came Monday as well, yesterday. Babatunde Fola, FIRS executive chairman, as the Federal Inland Revenue Service, made it known also on Monday at the African Tax Administration Forum, the ATAF technical workshop that was held in Abuja, that the VAT transaction charges for all online purchases, or local and international purchases, will actually, the 5% they want is that they want to that they're looking to charge is going to take place in 2020, January 2020. They're kicking it off, so it's going to happen. Hey, gosh. Mixed reactions.
Yes, mixed reactions. For me too, mixed feelings. We definitely need to deepen our tax base. So there was something in the news this morning. Taxes that we got that the FIRS received in Q2 2019 amounted to slightly over 300 billion. That's a lot, considering that the tax penetration rate in Nigeria is really low. So if this is implemented, it would help improve tax receipts. However, the downside is it will definitely discourage online purchases, right? And I think that component contributes to what services GDP.
Yes.
So it might be a dampener on the performance of that sector of the GDP. That's on one side. The other side is the fear of double taxation.
Right.
It has to be got right. I mean, if it's not got right, it's going to be a disincentive for people to do online transactions. Big disincentive. So I think my understanding is that the target really is for transactions, international transactions. And when Nigeria, you know how Nigerians like to shop,
right?
And then you do online transactions and you pay, and then the government doesn't receive any form of tax for those transactions that you make. So I think this is targeted at that, but still, there's need for caution. The framework has to be watertight, otherwise we'll just get it wrong with double taxation and all.
Right. So we'll see how it goes. They haven't announced. Let's see now. Okay. So January of 2020.
January 2020. Yes.
Hello, guys. Okay, you didn't leave your name. Do leave your name on your messages. Hello, guys. I'd like to know what's going on with Owando currently. Are the shares trading on the NSE? When was the last time dividends were paid? Does this stock have any future at all? Owando is trading. Owando was on one of the losers yesterday. It closed at 3 naira 75 kobo, I believe. Has Owando paid dividends? I don't believe so. I have to check, but do leave your name. I don't remember. You know, things have been a little tight for the company on the exchange, but I have to check on that. As far as the future of the stock, hey, the company is still operating. The stock is still trading, so of course it has a future. But do leave your name on your message, Christian. I noticed you're not no comments on Owando. We won't leave that alone.
Yes,
Yinka says, I hope this will involve putting any hand into people's pension savings to retrieve their loans. I always trust Yinka, our ever-present pessimist. No, Yinka, there's no talk of putting your hands inside people's pensions to recover loans. No, this is only looking at the bank accounts that individuals have. So if you have an account with another bank and you're owing money, that's what they're looking at. Christian, we were talking about something yesterday. This is not a news piece. This is just analysis here. The domiciliary balances of some of the banks. Yeah, just in discussion, looking at Zenith Bank in particular, how their dollar balances increased in half year from H1 2018 to H1 2019. Now, dollar balances also we're going from about let's see now, 800 billion. In 2018 to like over $1 trillion in 2019 half year, converted to dollars 2.2 billion to about 2.8 billion. So folks are this is just chatter. We're just saying that does this mean that people are preparing for a devaluation, this one that domiciliary balances are increasing in dollars and people are moving? I think we saw the same increase in a couple other banks. Well, what's your take? So just speculation, just analysis. What do you think?
So my thoughts, in recent times, like over the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of commercial banks, call back their Eurobonds.
Okay.
Right? The opportunities to create dollar assets they're quite limited at this time. So you don't want to take investors or people who hold FCY, who hold USD. There are not too many opportunities, not too many outlets for them to invest this money. So many are just leaving it on call at the banks, hoping that some institution would issue a Eurobond with attractive yields. So the last Eurobond that was issued, I think, was for ETI, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then the yields were, although the yields were really impressive.
That's EcoBank, yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yes. And it was oversubscribed, hugely oversubscribed. It was issued at about 9% yield.
Okay.
But now it's trading at about 5 levels.
Right.
Shows the level of demand for that instrument. So most lenders are the ones who are not calling back the Eurobonds. I'm not even thinking of issuing. Maybe there are concerns for them that there could be
the devaluation.
I didn't say that to
but it's speculation. All right, that's just speculation. Look, you always find interesting things, Lagos, looking at the financial reports of banking institutions. So it's just interesting seeing the dollar balances jump like that for Zenith, almost 27%. Good morning, guys. Banks still charge 52 naira 50 kobo for only payments and others. If you add this to the FIRS 5% on online transactions, it is double taxation. This is Frank from Satellite. Let's see now. Hello, Rotus. How will this loan recovery method apply to companies that have sister companies and subsidiaries? That's an interesting question, Ayo. They're focusing this one. They mentioned this is what's come out here is on individuals. They haven't mentioned anything as to corporations, but I would. I
think with time it would evolve.
It would evolve corporations. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Let's see now. This is from Ugonwa. Good morning. For personal loans, banks should be allowed to offset outstanding from pension balance. This is what Yinka was asking about. It makes sense. Otherwise, the borrower should declare himself bankrupt. Ugonwa, you are harsh. I
don't totally agree with that one. I mean, there are times when you have like not necessarily disagreements, but when you don't totally agree with what you're being charged as interest and other charges, and then there's some kind of dispute, and then you just stop repayments on your loan.
Right.
At that point, the bank shouldn't have any right to charge your pension account.
Right.
Until it's resolved.
Exactly.
And then it's agreed that you are in debt, and they can go ahead. I don't even think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's your savings.
Yeah,
that's your future.
No, I don't think it's a good
That's
idea.
your future savings. Olufemi is asking. I think Olufemi is asking the same question. This is Olufemi on the issue of bank recovering debts from their customers' accounts in other banks. How do joint accounts play out? If a customer owes bank A money, can they recover from his joint account in bank B? Yeah, if you have an account, the thing here is Olufemi.
Once your BVN is linked.
Once your BVN is linked and you have an account, whether it's a joint account, a solo account, whatever it is, in another bank, they will go there and they will collect the money. Fola, how much time we got?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes. Okay, 1 minute. All right. Christian, which one do we do now? The rollover of debt, or do we do the FX, or do we do the? Why don't we quickly do this? Because somebody said this cynically. Lagos, let me share this with you. So, Christian, the British firm, the what is it now? P&ID,
yes.
The one that Nigeria is owing the $9 billion to, that they got the court order.
Yes.
So they're now saying that they're looking to move to seize some of our assets, like oil, cargo, ships, and so on. So somebody now said cynically that this is why they are putting that VAT tax on the online transactions, so that we can pay back, so that we can pay for the 9 billion that because the timing is interesting. But anyway, what do you think? I mean, they are legally allowed to move forward to try to seize us. They use Venezuela and Argentina as examples where companies were giving judgments against them, and they did actually go after some of their assets. So, I mean, we're also worried about our reserves and so on. What do you think?
I think we need to sit them down and see if we can get another out of court. Although we've defaulted on the first one,
yes,
we need to sit them down and have a conversation, because at some point, right? At some point, they will take charge either of our foreign reserves or take charge of some of our assets.
Right.
It's about time we had to sat down with them and had a conversation as to how to
do that.
this, yeah.
President Buhari is I believe is in Japan right now.
From there you can go to Britain
and they go and sort it out. Christian, one-third of the Horsemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all for your messages. I'm sorry I couldn't get to them. Maybe I'll try to get to them tomorrow. Kenneth, Daniel, Yinka, Olufemi Ogonwa, everybody, Chidi, Dikpo, Prince, Frank, everybody out there. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you interacting with us. I'll look over the messages. If there's anyone I missed, I will attend to them tomorrow. That should do it. Yeah, Business Express. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for making it. I appreciate it. Well, I'll come back and take a look at these messages and see what's up.
You can never predict traffic.
The traffic, Abby, and schools are not back yet.
So you can imagine what happens.
Oh shit. Oh my God.